Do you think about yourself as a missionary? I think a lot of times when we hear the word missionary, we think of people that are in foreign countries, or they're in Africa or Europe or India or China, maybe South America. We think of these people as frontier missionaries, maybe as they're called. But I think a big problem is that us as Christians right here at home, we feel like, or we don't have the mindset that we are missionaries to our cities, to our neighborhoods, to our neighbors, to the places we frequent, the restaurants that we eat at, maybe the places that we work out, or the parks that we visit. Well, now the truth of the scripture is that in John chapter 17, Jesus is praying what's called his high priestly prayer. He's praying to the Father, and he says that you have sent me into the world, and I have accomplished the work that you sent me to do. So first of all, we see that Jesus is the great missionary. Jesus left heaven and came to earth to live, to die, and to resurrect for us, for our sake, for our salvation. He accomplished that work. So Jesus is the ultimate example of a missionary. He goes from comfortability to suffering for the sake of others, so that he could save people and so that he could bring a message of peace to people. Then later in his prayer, Jesus says that, Father, as you've sent me into the world, I'm coming back to you, but so now I'm sending Christians into the world. And so the mindset that the scripture gives about a missionary is not just you're in a foreign mission field, or you're in a different country, or you're in a different town that you grew up in, but the idea of a missionary is that whoever Jesus has saved, he has sent. So we have to look at everywhere that we are in our life, our job, the school that we're in, the neighborhood that we're a part of. Jesus has sent us there to be missionaries, to share the gospel with people, to invite people to come to Jesus, to share the difference between religion and the gospel, and to love people by the words that we speak so that they can know Jesus, and love them by our actions, and that we serve them and that we help them, and all of that kind of stuff. This Sunday will be our 12th week in our sermon series called Jesus and His Church. We're finishing this series, and the next weekend we're going to be at Easter Sunday celebrating the resurrection. So we end our sermon series about Jesus and His church with Jesus sends His church. So we invite you to come and worship 10 a.m. Sunday morning at the Ekklesia building, 515 West Okmulgee Avenue. All ages welcome. We're going to be in the book of John chapter 17, and we're also going to be in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 13 through 21. So check it out, John 17 and 2 Corinthians 5, 13 through 21. Check it out before you come, pray and prepare, and then come ready to worship Jesus. As Christians, we got to wrestle with what it means to be the church, not just with our ideas of it. We got to wrestle with questions like, what constitutes a local church? And what does it mean to be the church? Jesus and His Church is a sermon series where we'll biblically explore what the church is, why it exists, and what it means for us.